They're guys. They do magic. They are the Magic Guys.
Yo, there we go. What's up, everyone? How you doing? In the house, we here, we chilling. It's, to be honest, just your boy Josh. But I want to come on here. We're starting to really gear up for this this live video nonsense, this live video stuff. And I wanted to jump on here and just make sure that everything's like pretty smooth here on YouTube when I go live on the actual Magic Guys page. It's funny, yesterday, or just the other day, I did a live video on my personal YouTube channel. It's still there if you want to check it out. I did a couple of pieces of magic, answered a lot of questions about myself. And the funny thing was that the whole time I was live streaming, I thought that I was live streaming on the Magic Guys. And I was like, oh, great. We're getting heaps of interaction. People are watching. People are putting questions. And I was like, oh, this is sick. But little did I know, the whole time it was streaming to my personal one, which is still great. But that taught me a lesson straight away. And it was that I hadn't yet set up the live streaming functionality on this channel. So I was like, great, I got to do this again, which this is super fun to do. So therefore I did that, and now I'm here. And because I don't have a guest, I didn't even know why I'm wearing these, to be honest. So I can just chill. Hey, Scotty P, what's up, Scotty? Scotty in the house, ladies and gentlemen. What's up? Good to see you, Scotty. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope everything's good on your end, and you know the pandemic's over. Thank you for your caring text message that you sent me as well, making sure that that I was all good. And you know, I fortunately got to do a gig yesterday. So because the lockdown ended, I was able to go and do this event that would not have happened if the lockdown here in Brisbane had kept going. But fortunately, you know, it's all good. So we're pretty good there. Yo, Aaron, what's up? Hey, guys, good to see you. How did you get down a slide when you're stuck on it? All right, so great question, man. So, you know, things can get a little tricky sometimes. And I guess what you're referring to is like, do you keep persevering or do you stop? And I guess the way you have to consider it is what I'm learning worth it? That's one thing, because there are some really hard slides. And I know me and Jace have talked about this in the past, like things are really difficult, but they don't have a good payoff. And you have to consider, is it worth me learning it? You also have to consider, like, am I learning this the right way? A lot of times we see things on Facebook and we're trying to copy the way that it's done, or we're watching a tutorial that might be a little bit questionable. And sometimes that can be the reason it's difficult to learn. But personally, something I struggled heaps with was learning the muscle pass. The muscle pass is one of those things that just looks so cool, but then when you try to learn it, it's like this whole process and like life discovery on like, is it worth me doing it? And so the aircon's on in here, so I don't even know if my hands are going to let me do this. But if you watch, there we go. We can get it to jump from down to up. Let me do it again. There we go. Now this is actually quite a heavy coin too. This coin here, US $50. There we go. These are the coins that Jason uses and it kills it with. So like for me, I stopped on and off with this effect. I would first, if you are trying to learn the muscle pass, by the way, I first started, I don't have any here, but I first started by using plastic poker chips. And I mean like the really cheap ones you find in like the dollar store that are like just really thin and light. So that way, and they're still big enough that you can get the right positioning, and then you can start practicing enough and then start to do it with heavier objects, like maybe an actual casino weighted chip, and then maybe definitely not this coin. You might start with like one of these ones, like a quarter. And then eventually you can do these coins if you even want to. Like it's not even a thing you have to do, but if you do want to do it, you know, you probably jump to that. So I remember trying to learn it, then I stopped, then I came back to it like 3 months later. And like, it's just one of those things. And I think eventually just what happened was, because it's a muscle you have to build up. Eventually I just, it just worked. And I was like, holy crap. Okay. And then I just had to keep it going. So Aaron, great question, man. I hope that helps, like with what we're kind of discussing here. So I really hope that helps. Sean, what's up, Sean? Let's see what Sean's saying. What version of Out of This World do you perform? Great question, my friend. Out of This World, really great plot. For me, performing in a professional setting, I have found it difficult to find versions of Out of This World that are good for my character, I suppose, and good for like the environments I'm performing in. There's one version that I would perform, and I did it in my parlor shows for a while. And it's a version, I can't remember who it's by, but essentially it's a version that isn't actually perfect at the end. So when you finish the routine, and by the way, Out of This World, for those who don't know, is where you have someone, you've mixed up the cards and you have them deal the cards out into two piles, and without them even knowing, they've somehow dealt them into separating all the cards from all the red cards and all the black cards, or the other way around, or sometimes it's called living and dead. You'll have photos and the people who are dead and people who are still alive, their photos are separated. There's many different versions, but the version that I found really interesting was the one where at the end, when you spread the deck of cards out, or when you're laying them down onto the table, they're not actually completely separated. In the center, there's some that are mixed up. And the reason why I liked that is because there was a presentation I was doing where you tell people to think about happy thoughts, and then you tell them to think about negative thoughts, somewhere in the middle, and then you tell them again to revert back to their happy thoughts, and you can explain and pinpoint the moment you thought about negative thoughts, it actually confused your mind and you weren't able to do the process, and that's why in the center there's a couple that are off. So it just made it a little bit more real, and honestly, I don't use that anymore because I just found some people thought it was like a bit too long of a process. Some people loved it. So yeah, but such a good plot. Hey, like there's so many different places you can take that. And for me, that's what I did. So yeah, man, hope that answers your question. Really appreciate you asking it. Let's go. I'm going to use my sound effects like a grown-up. So it's good to see you on here. By the way, I'm doing this live on YouTube right now. However, let me show you where you want to be going for the future lives that we're doing. You want to be going over here. A bit of ASMR for you. So Facebook. We don't use our Facebook page that much up until now. And what we're going to do, Jason and I, and we want to start getting people more involved in the podcast. We want you to be able to be there for the conversation, to be able to sit there with us. So in this place right here, when we do our public podcast, we're going to be streaming them to this Facebook page so that you can listen to it in real time. Then I'll still be editing them and putting them on YouTube and everywhere they normally go. But at least this way, we have a use for our Facebook platform. And if you're there, you can ask questions. And especially if we have guests and it's a surprise guest, or you know they talked about something you're super interested in, you can then ask a follow-up question. And I think the reason why we're using Facebook is just because like your phone is with you all the time, and Facebook is just an app that you're on more than YouTube, let's be honest. So it's easy for you to see it, just click on it, you know, have it there. So we're going to test it out anyway. Really, it's just us copying Gary Vee. That's what it is. So that's where you want to go to, and you know, it's good stuff. So, hey, Chris, what's up, man? Loving the live stuff. Let's go, man. Let's go. I'm being a big boy and doing some live streaming. I have a Stream Deck coming, Chris. And a Stream Deck, it's such a cool thing that I fully nerd out at, but just makes all this stuff way more fun. So that's going to be coming soon as well. And yeah, I mean, look, what's up? Hey, look, Jesse, look at our two Patreons right here. I'm going to chuck both of you guys right there. Howdy, howdy. What's up, Jesse? Howdy, howdy indeed. These guys are both fellow patrons. Really awesome guys to have supporting us. Speaking of Patreon, this is where you can find it. Patreon.com/The Magic Guys. Hey, look, I can put it on my hand. Hang on. Let me just look. I can move it. I can move it along the screen. Oh, I messed that up, didn't I? Anyway, patreon.com/The Magic Guys. Lots more content there. We still got to figure out like where to live stream the Patreon episodes too, so that you guys can see it in the Patreon and ask questions and stuff as well. But that one we're still figuring out. Like it's possible. Maybe what we do is we do a scheduled live stream and then we send you guys the link on Patreon. Maybe that's the way that we do it. I'm not sure yet. But, you know, we're still trying to work it out. Hey, another fellow Patreon. Let me put you there. Boom. Look at this. 3 fellow Patreons sitting in a tree. Who will do the first magic trick? We'll see. That's just fun. Cool. So, look. Real quick, we're going to start doing these live streams on Facebook. All of this stuff is just a test to make sure that, like, you know, all of this stuff works too, because you don't want to, like, say we're going to start doing live streams and then like it doesn't work. That would fully suck, you know, that would fully suck. But for the most part, so far so good. You'll even, I don't know if you guys who are watching this now were watching this at the beginning, but I had like a countdown timer starting. So we started the live stream with, I guess I can show you. We started the live stream with this. So that way, once it actually began, it gave you a bit of time to like catch up, like just know. So you're jumping on there and I'm not like starting cold. So at least I can start the podcast or the live or whatever with some questions already banked up. And so I thought that was kind of fun, but let me know if you think that's a good idea. I just kind of think like that way you're not spending, you know, the first minute just talking to yourself. I was like, that's probably a good idea, you know? Jesse, I've discovered Twitch and TikTok as well. Super excited for the next phase in my social media journey. Bro, well done, man. How many like avenues are there now for live streaming? It's super crazy. Like I'm still trying to understand, like, what is the difference between Twitch and Discord? Because so far what I can tell is that they're both places you can live stream on. And like, yeah, what is like the main, because I'm like, holy crap, you know, the older I get, the more stuff comes out and I'm trying to like keep up with it. But yo, Jesse, it's great that you are doing TikTok. I think that's great. And I'll make sure I subscribe and follow. And TikTok's one of those weird places. Jason is killing it, obviously. He's probably not here because he's doing a TikTok. And killing it on it. But for me, like I just make some TikToks that are just fun to do, and really just sometimes it's just repurposing content as well. So, you know, it's all fun. Scotty says, very clever profile pic, Chris. So I'm going to go back to Chris. I'm going to check out his profile picture. There it is. You guys can see it. Very clever profile. Okay, so I guess it's because you got the C. Yeah, nice. Because it's Chris Annabelle CA. That is pretty clever, you know. That actually is pretty clever. You know what I just noticed? I think I can alter what your comments say. And I'm just going to test that theory right now. Holy crap, you can. This is amazing. You can actually change what it says. So now it says, Chris, hey Josh, I'm in love with you. Oh, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Wow. Now, if that's not like comment censoring, I don't know what is. So that's crazy. So imagine like you get someone that comes on that hates you and they comment something like F you, and then you change their comment on the screen to say, hey man, I just want to confess, like I give up. I love you. You know, and then you like screen capture that moment and that's what you oh man, I did not know you could do that, but that is some funny stuff. Did not know you could do that. That's crazy. Kelly, what's up, Kelly? Kelly says, "G'day, lads. What's up, man?" Yes, we are chilling here a little early for the next podcast. The next podcast, Jason and I are filming it on Monday, and then it's going to be released on the Tuesday. So you're going to get it like pretty much in real time. But again, like I was saying before, we are going to live stream it, so you will be able to find it. Why do I keep putting up that one? You will be able to find the live stream here, the Magic Guys show. For us, it's going to be like around the morning time. So maybe 2 hours before like when you're seeing this, but we'll try to announce it like as best as we can. But the best way is just to be following the page, have like the alert thing going up and all that kind of stuff so that you can find it. But Kelly, hope you're doing well, man. Hope you are doing well. Dom says, how's it? Dom, always good to have you here, my friend. Next week, what's today? Saturday. Easter Saturday. Yeah, so in like a week's time, but on the Sunday, we'll have our next live stream as well for the Patreons. Again, I don't know why I keep bringing up the Patreon, but since we have, again, patreon.com/the Magic Guys. If you're a magician and you want to hang out and jam with other magicians, this is where we do it. It's great fun, including Dom. Dom is also one of the people that are there. Yeah, it's good. Good. So then we have Dom. He's back. Disappeared. Scotty is very handy getting the heads up. It was very handy getting the heads up. I'm super happy that you got the heads up. I think you're referring to me talking about the Facebook page. So appreciate it. Let me just give you what can I give you here? I can give you a gasp. That's Scotty P. 240p. Scotty P. Now I see what's happening. Now there's like conversations happening in the chat, which is funny. I'll leave that there though. That's cool. All right, so now Jesse. What's up, Jesse? I got to move it out of the way because like there's some of my own things on the screen here that's blocking me from seeing what's going on. Not sure how to live stream on Twitch. I had to use a separate program, whereas Discord is definitely a group-based platform that allows for independent conversations and collective development. Okay, so that would tell me that Discord is more of like a platform where you're subscribed and like the community can talk within themselves, whereas Twitch is more like I'm streaming and you can watch it. Is that what I'm getting? It sounds like that's what I'm getting. Maybe Twitch, maybe what's good about Twitch is that like when you're twitching, when you're twitching, you can like hit a button that goes, yep, send this clip to YouTube. I know like it has some aspects on it that are handy in that sense. So you know what? We all need to explore this stuff together. Hey, like it's all stuff we're getting used to and learning about really. All getting used to it, Scotty P, drunk with powder. Yeah, power rather. Not powder, power. If you're drunk with powder, that's that's your problem. Did that hit? That hit. Nice. Yeah, drunk with powder. Yeah, lol, magicians reading my mind. Well, that's what we do, Chris. I mean, I took a stab on the live world. I was like, do I go there? Yes, I will. And it turned out I was right. So appreciate it. I wish I had some like love music here. I would play that. And oh, look at that. Dom, you're too kind, man. Dom says, join the Patreon. You won't regret it. I appreciate that, my man. Screw it. I'll do it. I'll do it one more time. In case you want to find us on the Patreon. Oh no, did I get rid of my Patreon tag? I did. What the hell? I accidentally deleted it. I had that thing I kept putting up, like where I put up this one, for example, which would be like for my Instagram and all that stuff. I got rid of the Patreon. You know what? It's going to make another one real quick. Oh, you know what I should have done is added, there's an overlay you can get where you actually, you can do like what I was doing with the Facebook, where it showed up really nice with the Facebook page and stuff like that. So I'm just going to quickly type this out again. But next time, you're going to see it in the professional styles straight away. So that'll be better. But anyway, there it is. Patreon, I'll put it on my head. Look at that. You can't unsee that now. Patreon.com The Magic Guys. Awesome. And I believe I can add like a background of some sort like this. That way, like, you can't unsee that now. Look at that. Bam! It's right there in your face. That's handy. That is so handy. It's good to have there. But thanks, Don. Thanks for the shout out. Appreciate it. Jesse, sad news for me on the Patreon. I had a card issue, so I'm currently not a Patreon for the next day or so until that resolves. What? Surely it still lets you be in the Patreon though, right? Like, if it declines, it should still let you be in the Patreon. Or are you saying it completely like stops your access? Because if that's the case, I'm going to have to storm down to Patreon and have a talking to the man. Ah, damn it. You know, that is one thing about Patreon that people have an issue with, is like, especially because I'm in Australia, and so if people from Australia join it, but it's like debiting in US currency, which now it doesn't, it switches, but a lot of people would get like a fraud detection thing, because it's like, why is this company so far away trying to debit you? I've been reading up a lot about it. But, you know, hopefully it doesn't kick you out too long, bro, because we need you in there. You're a bloody producer. All right. A lot of people use Twitch to live stream and use the Discord to build the community and pull dialogue similar to Reddit, I think. All right. We got to do some research on this. We got to do some research. Scotty's leaving us. Got to go, guys. Having fun chatting. I've just started filming again. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Good. No, wrong one. Sorry. Good job for filming again. I'll be keeping an eye out for that, Scotty. Take care, my friend. Enjoy your day at work. I'm guessing you're at work right now, actually. No, of course, it's Saturday. You know, I lose track of the day sometimes. It's a common thing that happens when your performing life is like the weekend. Like, my weekdays are the weekend, basically. And then during the week is when I do all this stuff, and I'm editing, and I'm sending emails and planning out what I'm going to be doing and stuff like that, you know? That's what happens. Thomas, hey Tom, good to see you, my friend. You are magic, as Tom says. Have you ever found a gold nugget walking around? What do you mean by gold nugget? I mean, do you mean by like, have I come across something that's given me inspiration, or do you literally mean a gold nugget? Because if you literally mean a gold nugget, the answer is no, I have not just found one walking, but I have done gold panning with my grandfather when I was young. He used to take me on trips and stuff, and then one particular time we went camping and did like, because he was a collector of stones, so to speak, and he would mine for opals and gold and that kind of thing. And so he took me gold panning, which is when you stand in like a creek, like where a creek ends and everything kind of is captured in that place, and you dig up the soil, you put it in this pan, and it catches all the gold. So I've caught gold, but not walked and found a nugget. But if you're talking about just walking around and stuff, I've definitely been inspired by things that I've seen, or that kind of thing, for sure. So I'd love to find a gold nugget though. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Hey, Justine, what's up? Justine, you found the live stream. I know last time you said that, oh no, I missed the live stream, but I'm so glad you found it this time. Justine, one of our strong supporters. Thank you so much for joining in here. It's good to see you. Hope all your studying is going well and you're staying safe on your end and everything like that in the Philippines. Great to see you. This is so fun. Like, now I understand why everyone kept saying like to do a live stream, because honestly, this gives so much energy. I only plan to do this for like 5 minutes, and we're up to 29 minutes already. This is basically a podcast, like the length of a podcast episode that we do, but this is just us hanging out. So that's super fun. Oh, Jesse's got an update. Just verified. Everything seems to be back up and running. So good deal there. Dude, that is sick. Super happy to know that. You know, this feature has like an interview mode where you can get people to come on to this live stream and stuff like that. If I was feeling so inclined, there's probably a way where I could like send you a link right now, bring you on here. But we'll do that. And maybe we'll plan that for another time. Since you're a producer, I'll get your thoughts on it in the Patreon. Maybe we can do bits where you jump on, give us your thoughts, if you're available at the time and that kind of thing. Because we can do that now. And it's super easy. Yeah. So Jesse, can't wait for more gems. That's awesome. In Australia, you can find gold on the surface. All right. Hang on, let me just bring this up here. In Australia, you can find gold on the surface. I think that was very true like a while back. And I think in the gold rush days, a lot of people flocked to Australia to find gold, like everywhere. But I can't say that's super true now, at least not for me, at least definitely not in like the suburbs. I mean, that would make it much easier to make a living if you could just find them everywhere. That would be awesome. Simo says hi. Hi, Simo. How you doing? Good to see you here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining in. Really appreciate it. For those who were a little late to jumping on here, I know I keep saying this, but I just have to because that's why we're here. This place is where we are going to start doing these live streams for our podcast. So our podcast episode that you see go up on every Tuesday or Monday if you're in the US, they're still going to be here, but we're going to stream them to Facebook so that just like you're doing right now, you can send your questions in while we're chatting. So Jason and I can look at those questions and go, oh, that's interesting. Here's what I think. Or you can ask questions about the things we're talking about. I think it's just going to bring a whole new life to the streams. I think it's going to be awesome. Tom, bedrock is like 3 feet below sea level there. Okay. You know what, Tom? I think you're a clever guy and you probably know more about this than me. And I think you probably got this figured out, which is, I like this a lot. By the way, I can tell that my camera battery is starting to get low. I do have a backup battery. So if it does go black for a second, we haven't quite finished, I'll just switch that out. So don't worry. I wish I had like a video I could just play for you like while that's happening. So maybe if it does, I'll put the countdown timer on. Who cares? We'll figure it out. Justine, hey. All right, let me move your question down. There's this thing that's like in my way and it's so annoying for me. Now you guys can't see it, but oh, hang on, I can move it. Oh, silly me. Okay. My bad. There we go. Thank you. Been wondering, on your spare time, what do you do except anything that's related to Magic and Cardistry? Because I'm a big nerd, which is so true. Great question, Justine. What do I do if I'm not on here? So I just muted my cough there for you. What do I do? Well, one thing I do is I live stream because this is super fun to catch up with everyone, even though some people are in lockdown, some people are in different parts of the world. One thing I do is like I did this morning, I walked my 2 dogs. So I walked them around the block. I took them to drop my girlfriend off at work. So they come in the car. They enjoy like sticking their heads out, enjoying like the fresh air and everything like that. And then bring them back, took them for a nice big walk, came back here. Later today, I will go to the gym. I'll work out because, you got to have like a strong body to, live a strong life, I guess. Like what? That's probably not the right analogy. What's the analogy I'm looking for? Like, strong mind, strong body. I guess, working out definitely releases those endorphins and makes me feel good and like ready for the week. And I've done it my whole life. So going to the gym is always on the schedule. Love gymnastics. I don't do like a ton of it now, but I always still make sure like every week I'll like pop a few backflips and stuff. Definitely not enough room in here, but maybe I'll live stream outside one day. And so I'll do a few backflips. I'll like work on my handstands because when you do a handstand, it's very much reliant on your forearm and wrist grip to be able to keep you balanced. And so that I'm always working on a lot. And my battery's definitely going to run out now. Editing has been a thing that takes up a lot of my time now. Editing videos is like the craziest thing ever. All right, just bear with me. I'm just going to change my battery. So let me just chuck this on for a second. Let's see like how long it takes me to do it, all right? So it's going to cut out, but it'll be worth it. In fact, I can bring my... Now you're going to see me here. Yay. And it's going to go out now, but you'll still be able to hear me talking because it doesn't cut out the microphone, luckily, when you do this stuff. It just cuts out the visual. There we go. Hey, that actually didn't take too long. So now you should be back. Look at that. 4:27. So it only took me 33 seconds to do that battery change. That's awesome. And now I'm going to charge this battery straight away so that can't happen again. Like what would suck would be for it to run out and then you go to grab the charged one and you realize the charged one isn't ready. And that's a whole thing. So yeah, really, like I'm still a big nerd, you know, I'm always practicing stuff. Like, you know, I've got my cubes right here and like, I'll just do this all day, literally. Not all day, but like I'll just sit there and just be playing around, and this one's kind of fun. So working out, walking the dogs, editing videos, you know, going shopping and sightseeing with my girlfriend, going on treks and stuff like that. Hanging out with friends when I can. Like all my friends are super ambitious, so like my friends are busy like I'm busy, so we just try to catch up when we can and that kind of thing. So I hope that answers your question. It's not, you know, it's not like I go on Batman missions or anything crazy, you know? Oh, good. This will tie this up. From Scotty P's Forgotten Gems. All right, now that makes sense. You love Forgotten Gems. Sweet. Now I understand. That was a clever tie back too with Tom talking about gold nuggets. Very clever, Mr. Jesse. What's the deepest thinking movie or show you've watched recently? I'm a huge buff for cinema and always looking for suggestions that I haven't come across yet. The deepest thinking movie or TV show. Well, if you guys have one, let Tom know. Comment a movie or TV show that's got you thinking. You know, one for me that I watched, which is very mainstream on Netflix, was The Queen's Gambit. And if I talk about it for a second, like the Queen's Gambit series, it's just so cool. Like it's shot so well. And they really make chess look awesome. Like, you know, normally the preconception for chess is like, not for nerds, but you know, in high school, there's like the chess club, which I didn't have a chess club at my school, but I feel like maybe that's a US thing. But, you know, you think of the chess club and that's not particularly popular people. And then you never really see it on TV too much. Or it's like super old people that are like the master chess players. So it was never like a mainstream thing. And they found a way to make it really cool and really like articulate how clever they are and like how there's so much that goes into it, thinking ahead. And I love how like in some of the earlier matches, people are like before they start a match, they're sitting there and they're like really particular on setting up their pieces before they start. And it really, you know, watching that made me proud to be a magician because it actually, because what it does is it shows you like the backstage to being a chess player. And it made me really appreciate magic in the way that we do the same thing in magic, where we're always thinking 20 steps ahead. We want to make sure all our pieces are in order before we start. We're always staying up all night and all day researching magic and different techniques and stuff, because in the series, you know, they're reading about other chess players and like they actually record the whole game. So you can read someone's chess game with someone else and how all the pieces moved. And it's like, it's very... yeah, it really brings me back to magic. But the whole time that series is happening, the series really isn't about chess players, even though the whole thing is. It's really a story about this girl who's struggling with addiction and stuff like that. So like, hope that answers your question. That is the thing that I watched recently that was pretty deep and more than just about something that's just so obvious. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Perfect example. Fantastic. Yeah, let's go. Look at that. Appreciate it. Yeah, so hope you watch that, man. And I will get that video to you soon. I haven't forgotten. Jesse. Chess was always awesome. I love the series because of the depth. Yeah, without giving anything away of the main character development and struggle. Yeah, it's so true. So true. Yeah, it's just good. And they just filmed it so well. And like how at night she'd lay there and like see this stuff playing out in her head. It's like not exactly, minus the drugs. But like that's what happens when I'm trying to think of a routine. I'll like lay in bed. I'm like, I really want to make this happen. But these are the obstacles in my way. How do I accomplish this? And I like imagine I'm performing the routine and then I'm like, okay, so let me backtrack it. If I want to do this, this has to be here. And okay, so this is eventually going to be in the way. So let me, use this thing. And that way I can just, do this kind of fair display. And I need to make sure no one's over here. And so like, it really brought me, so I might even go watch this after this live stream because like it really just like, it's just a good show. So yeah, it's just good stuff. It's good stuff. Sorry, Grandmasters can burn that in a single tournament. That's how many calories the brain needs to be used. Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. Yeah, I remember I went to New York. Well, I've been 3 times now, but the first time I ever went, I was in the park in Central Park. And there's an area in Central Park where it's like the tables, the bench, like park tables are chessboards. And there was an old dude there. There's a photo on my personal Facebook profile of me and this guy. And he's just like, 60-year-old white fox, silver fox, I should say. Leather jacket. And he's like, just got his chess pieces there. And at the time, I thought it was a little weird that he was just there by himself playing chess. And I'm with my 2 mates. We're like traveling. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm like, oh, do you need someone to play with you? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. And long story short, like my friend took a photo of me getting demolished by this chess player. Because back then I didn't realize the art form that is chess. I just assumed it's kind of like noughts and crosses where you just kind of get lucky or whatever. I was such an idiot, but yeah, so you are right. So much brain power must go into it. Like crazy. And problem is someone's a perfectionist like me, you end up nitpicking every single detail that you think should be or shouldn't be on the video. Yeah, I'm guessing you're assuming, I'm guessing you're talking about like when you make a video, right? Oh, in terms of like the editing that I do. Absolutely right. Editing a video, let me just tell you. So when I first used to edit, like before anyone would watch it, like it didn't matter, right? I just would basically do like very simple trims and just cut and paste here and there, and that was it. And I used to just use a really, really basic video editing system, kind of like iMovie, and the one I was using was called Movavi because I was editing on this laptop. This is actually this is the laptop that I edit all the podcasts on, by the way. This super thin laptop is the one that I use most of the time, but it's super powerful. So a Windows Surface Pro, I think it's called. And now that I've upgraded to using Adobe Premiere Pro, which is just basically like people edit proper cinema movies on this software. So that's how crazy you can get with it. And I'm forever learning new stuff about it. Like Justine, you asked about my hobbies. Like one of my hobbies is watching tutorial videos on YouTube about Adobe Premiere Pro. And lately I've been watching tutorials on streaming and stuff like that, which is why I've ordered a Stream Deck, and that's a whole thing. That's going to be fun. So literally, like, for me to do this, for example, I have to press 2 buttons right now. I have to hit command and then I have to press number 5, and that brings up this, which is where we're going to be doing our live streams. But when you have the Stream Deck, it's just going to be one button that's highlighted, the Facebook button, and you press it and it pops up. So yeah, so right now, editing tutorials and streaming tutorials, super fun time. But to go with your point, Justine, it's crazy like how long you can spend on editing. And lately, because there is a time crunch with the editing that we're doing, like the podcasts go up, and then during the podcasts, I try to edit my own things. So like right now, I have a video in the can that needs to be edited, and it's from More Magic that I did at Eat Streets last week. So this will be like Eat Street video V4, like the first time I'm making a video from there. And I'll be editing this after this stream, but it's just like I can only spend so much time on it because I know that in a few days I'm going to have to edit the podcast and put that out and like make sure my other platforms are getting content as well. It's like, it's so crazy, to be your own business person, like to live the life of your own passion. You have to become not just a performer, but a business person, a social media expert, an editor, video content creator. You have to become all these things, a marketer. And, but it's, not complaining. I love editing. I actually really enjoy editing, but yeah, you can spend so much time on picking out what goes in it, what doesn't go in it, and even just finding the storyline, like looking at a clip and knowing how it's going to tell a story. With Magic, you're just going out and filming a bunch of stuff. And then when you come back to try to make it make sense, that can be difficult. That can be, a really difficult thing. Let's jump through here. Tom, I'm now having an epiphany, possibly that there isn't too much chess-related Magic routines. This is true, man. The only one I can think of is Chris Ramsey brought out one, and the routine never made sense to me until I watched the Queen's Gambit. And Chris Ramsey has a routine he put out where it's like, I think it's the knight, and it's like a which hand is the piece in. It's a chess piece. It's either a king or it's a knight. It's one of those pieces. And I never understood why you'd use a chess piece to guess which hand it's in. But once I watched the Queen's Gambit, I then realized that what they do before they start a match is they put the different colors. So they would put like the white king and the black king, mix it up in your hand, and then you pick, like the opponent chooses a hand, and whichever hand, that's the color that they start with. Because in chess, whoever has the white pieces starts first. So now it makes sense, like to guess which hand it's in. So now when I see it, I'm like, oh, that actually makes sense. But yeah, I'm not familiar with too many chess-related routines. Although, like, because I'm not a full-on chess player, it would be hard for that to make sense in my stuff, My first comment before that didn't go through, I'll reiterate it. Oh, sweet. Okay, so I'm guessing that's the next comment. Let me bring that up because I can. I agree with you on the editing part. It's so tiring to edit a certain film or video. I've always been the one to edit every film product back in college, and no one is even helping you. I feel your pain. I feel your pain, Justine. It's one of those things that you have to enjoy. So if you enjoy the process, it can be fun. But if it's a time crunch and it's like a thing you have to do, it can be pretty hard. So I feel you there, but well done for persevering. I think it just makes it even, it just makes you even more stronger and skill-setted for when you put out your own cardistry video, Justine. Because then you can film it all and you'll know how to edit it and make it look good. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe. Yeah, Tom, yes, I know that one. Sweet. So you know of Chris's routine. That's awesome. And that's why, dope. Love it. Love it. Jesse's back. Yo, thanks guys I know there's not like a ton of us right now watching this live, but this is really cool that you guys are here. So I super appreciate it. On our first Magic Jam, you showed us a deck of cards. I think you said a Halloween deck. Can we see that if it's still available or on the next stream. You showed us a deck of cards. I think what you're referring to, Jesse, is the deck that has skulls on it. Does that kind of ring a bell? Let me just have a quick check. So don't run away, guys. I'll see if I can find it really quickly. And I don't know if you can even still hear me, but I'm just talking so that it doesn't just give you a blank feel while I'm gone. All right, I'm back. All right, I'm back. First of all, found these. These are, I think it was a fellow supporter that sent us these because Jason gave them to me, but I'm pretty sure it's because he got sent a bunch of them from someone else. So this, I guess this is a funny little look. This is how pro I am as a magician. I keep all the decks of cards I used to start collecting in here. So silly, but I'm pretty sure this is where that Halloween deck lives, because I don't know where else it would be, man. So I'm just going to quickly jump in here and we'll have a little look. But I do remember, like, it's a deck that I have had for a very long time. And I literally would just bust it out I found it. I literally would just bust it out every Halloween because of a reveal that it has in it. So I'll show you what that is too. So, man, I'm pretty sure this is the deck here. So let me give you a little look-see. I'll take your question out of the way just so you can see it a little bit better. Look at that. Look at that focus, by the way. It's awesome. I guess that's where you can see who makes it once it decides to. There you go. Ah, that's right. It's called the Carnival deck. But Carnival with a K. Carnival. And I'll give you a little look real quick. Yeah, so these are pretty cool. So all of the court cards are themed and, like, yeah, it's a pretty eerie looking deck. It's mighty cool. And the thing that I kind of like about it is, let's say, how can I show you this? Okay, so let me get the Joker out. So this is what the Jokers look like. They're pretty awesome. And within the deck, you've got a lot of cards in here. Let's assume that we pick one. And, I feel like it would be pretty hard for me to try and get you to pick a card or to say stop or whatever. So I'll just show you, like, what I would do in a real situation. So I would just say stop as I drop the cards. Stop. Okay. Remember this card. And then you would take the Joker and you go, look, the Joker actually has your card. Can you tell? Maybe you can't tell. Let me shake his hat off. And now if you see, his hat's gone, but where his hat was, a card is in its place. So that is the Carnival deck. I hope that is good. And what's happening here? Pat's saying he's been hacked. That's funny. Okay. Dude, what's going on? That is too funny. Someone's been hacked. A fellow Patreon member has been hacked in the live stream. Oh, God. All right. Oh, no, bro. What's going on, man? I feel for you. Let me jump back to the other comments here. Halloween deck from Knock. Are there moves in Magic that have never been revealed, or is it all known on the end? That's an interesting question. While Pat figures out what's going on. Yeah, Pat, Tom, there are moves that, there's just so much Magic out there. And, like, I'm forever learning new stuff myself. I know that the really top guys, they have their own sort of handful of secrets that they sort of sprinkle to the Magic community once they're sort of happy and they've used it for long enough that now they want to share it. Like Ozzy Wind is a great example. RZ Wind is David Blaine's #1 consultant, but in my opinion, one of the best magicians in the world. And whenever he releases an effect to the magic world, it's always because he's already been doing it for like 10 years and now he wants to share it with the world. And you learn this work of his and you're like, holy crap, this is amazing. So there's so much out there that people don't know or haven't shared with one another. It's like, it really is insane. It's really insane. And all right, Jesse's back. Yeah, I missed it because when you're showing us, somebody was talking and it switched to his screen. Right. And you know what? He's referring to the Patreon, which selfless plug is here. And in the very first live, the very first Zoom hangout we didn't record it on gallery view. So when you watched it back, as you're saying, it just switched between who was talking. So yeah, that's why that happened. But now we record it in gallery view, so you always see like who is saying what and what's happening at every moment. It's much better that way. So yeah, it's much better. Oh no. Pat, someone is messing with my account, bro. Sorry to hear that, man. Look, at least it's like the live comments. Like once we end this, the live comments don't show up like in the end thing anyway. So we forgive you, man. It's all good. I would click ban just so it stops showing up, but I don't want you to not be able to see future stuff, so I'm not going to press that. But I think everyone will forgive you for that happening. What would be a problem is if like I was hacked and you started seeing me comment my own stuff. Or like, imagine if someone could hack into the camera and the camera jumps like to someone else's screen. Like, man, that would be a whole thing. That would be a whole crazy thing. You know what? Since we're at 50, we're almost at an hour. We may as well get there, right? We may as well get to that hour. So if you guys have any last thoughts or questions, throw them up. I'm just going to take a sip of my drink here while I let you know of the Facebook page that will be live streaming our next podcast too. Can you hear that? Surely you heard that. That was pretty loud on my end even. So thoughts. What thoughts can I share with you? The lockdown ended in Brisbane. We had a 3-day lockdown, which, to be honest, even though the lockdown has ended here, we still have to now wear masks in public for the next 2 weeks. So that kind of puts a little dampen on any magic events we wanted to do. So you can still have your mask off. Like I did a private event yesterday, and because it's in a private setting, we could take our masks off. But I feel like it's going to put a dampen on the performers' worlds for the next 2 weeks because, you know, it's hard to perform in public like with a mask on. So it's going to be tough. Jesse, Liquid Fool. Yeah, I think what he was referring to was, I think his account's just been hacked. So like it's just saying all sorts of random stuff. But Liquid Fool ? Is a good comment to make. This is definitely not Liquid Fool. If it was Liquid Fool, it would be going into this mug. This is the official Liquid Fool mug for champions, which Jesse now is the proud owner of one. Except this one isn't signed like yours, so mine's not as cool. This is just Pepsi Max. Pepsi Max for me is like probably my one crux, my one thing that I enjoy that, you know, it's not helping me in any way. It's just tasty. Whereas Liquid Fool is a must. Liquid Fool is a damn must. So don't want to put that on. Don't know why I did that. Justine. Fondest, most memorable advice someone has given you. Ooh. That's a good one. I'll share some with you, and I feel like these are things I've definitely said them before, but it's nice to have them all in one place. The first piece of advice I was given that was really, really impactful for my career was when I was wanting to become a magician full-time. I went and watched my first ever magic lecture, like a live event where I went to this hall, or this the top level of this restaurant, where they hired out a small room, and a magician named Sam Angelico stood in front of me with maybe 20 other people who were magicians of some sort. I didn't know anyone at that point. And he gave the best magic lecture I'd ever seen in my life, because I'd never seen one before. And he's like revealing how he's doing this magic, because we're all aspiring magicians. And then, at the very end, I asked him, hey, I really want to be a full-time magician. I think at the time, like, I'm doing gigs, but because there was a 2-year period where I wasn't yet a full-time magician. Like from the moment I was like, I'm good enough now to get paid to do this, but I don't have the work that I need to fulfill me being full-time. So there was like a 2-year period where I did it part-time, because I was slowly building up the clientele base and getting my name out there. And it was in that time that I saw this lecture. And basically he said to me, look, if you want to get work, you have to be seen working. And when I heard that, it just, a light bulb went off. I'm like, of course you do. Like, if someone's going to hire you to perform at their birthday, for example, they have to have first seen you performing at a birthday or an event that has a similar frame to a birthday, like a similar setting. So he's like, don't say no to performing at events for free because you're not getting paid. Like, think of it as, these are now opportunities for you to get your business card into a new home, for someone to see you, get their business card. They get your business card, and that way people now know that you can perform in that kind of environment. So yeah, I think that's what started the snowball effect to me now doing it to this point where, like, to be honest, I'm so fortunate that, like, I don't have to do any chasing for gigs now. Like, they all sort of flow into me, because every time I do an event, I bloody give it 200%. I give out a ton of cards, business cards, and like, I'll get 1 or 2 bookings from each booking I'm doing. So if you can imagine, if you do the maths, that just means every year you get busier and busier. But it all started with that one piece of advice. So I could keep talking about that forever. Like, there's just so many good quotes and stuff like that. But like, that's just one that for me was like really, really impactful even till today, like with whatever I'm doing, whether it's, wanting to do keynote speaking, same thing. Clients have to have first seen me do keynote speaking, whether that's in a promo video or live or something, a showcase. It's all relative, But awesome question. Tom, does it amaze you every time a DL is executed and the spectator never sees it or can't figure it out? It amazes me every time. It's such a simple technique. Dude, it's right. Look, I think the beauty is that when you do magic well, everything is invisible. So it's like, why would they assume you're doing anything other than what it looks like you're doing? Yeah. I can't go into that too much, but yeah, the simple answer is like, there's so many things that I do that I'm like, is this really entertaining you? Is this really, magical to you? But it is, because we forget what it's like to look at magic through the eyes of a spectator, right? I think that's what it really comes down to. But certainly, I love it. Yeah, Jesse. Oh, Jesse's got a nice lengthy one here. Thanks, by the way, for all the little goodies. I also had an idea to use that mini card, and when I get to get my red bikes, I forgot that I had Chicago Open set up and realized that it was the same card. Oh, damn. Okay, let's go. Hey, well, that might even be, that's one revelation option. What Jesse's referring to is he purchased a liquid floor mug, and you were the only person I did this for too, by the way, Jesse. I have a deck of mini bicycle cards that I bought. This will be interesting for you. I bought that mini deck at the Tannen's Magic Shop in New York. So I went to New York, went to the Tannen's Magic store, you know, like one of the oldest magic shops in New York. And that guy named Magic Ballet, he was working the counter. And anyway, I bought the things I was going to purchase. And then at the end, I was like, oh, there's a red and blue mini decks. And I was like, oh, I'll take one of them each. So that one card made it all the way from New York to Brisbane, now back to the States. So it's been everywhere, man. And I've got more of them. Should anyone be in the market for them? So, but it's cool that you noticed it. Really like that. Really like it. And I like the other thing you said about your boss saying that he wanted to give you a promotion, but you would need to give up the magic. And that's when the phrase, see ya, was born. Yeah. Dude, you know what? That's the best thing ever. Like, that's when see ya was born. I love that. I freaking love that, man. I freaking love that. You know, yeah, I wish I'd said that to them, because that would have been the best badass thing ever. But the reality is that when they gave me the promotion, I hate to say this, but when they first gave it to me, I think I was just stunned and I didn't want to be a dick. And I was like, oh, thank you. Yeah. So like what happened was they said that and I verbally accepted it. Like I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, great. Thanks. But I was not happy about it. And they even said to me, they're like, you just got a promotion. Can you like give us some enthusiasm or something? Can you smile? I was like, and I had to act it. I was like, yeah, no, thank you so much. Thank you. And what happened was I went home, and when I went home, it hit me and I was like, this is a pinpoint moment in my life where I'm going to go one or two ways. And yeah, that's when I told them, see ya. I was like, look, I can't do this. I have to be true to myself, and I really have to give this a shot, because I'll forever hate myself for not trying to make it as a magician. And like, yeah, fortunately I made the best choice ever. So yeah, that's so funny that you made those connections, man. See ya. Oh man, Tom, couldn't have said that any better. Yeah, that's what we can do, right? If you do magic well, it should be invisible. And I think that's the difference between sleight of hand and magic, is that magic is invisible, you know? So that's the best way to put it. Pat's back. Sorry guys, don't know what that was. Had to restart my computer and turn my VPN on. Damn! Them VPNs be super powerful then right now, because that's crazy, man. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, man. You got to stop going on Omegle. You're letting hackers get into your system. Last question. Will you let me know when you want a custom piece of artwork painted for you for your bare walls? Lol. Hey, I'll give it to you. That was a good one. Yeah, these walls really have nothing on them. You know, we moved here maybe 5 months ago, and in the beginning there was like a big couch right here. And I didn't yet know like what was going to go on these walls. And so I still don't know. Like really, I was like, oh, I should put like some kind of like poster, like maybe do I get some magic posters or something? But Tom, honestly, like, you know, a custom piece of artwork, I would love to hang something beautiful like behind here. That would actually be awesome. I don't know how we kind of tee that up, but some kind of magic related-esque piece of artwork would be freaking amazing. That would be amazing. So yeah, thank you for saying that. Yeah, I would definitely, be up for commissioning you to make a piece of artwork. Absolutely. Justine, thanks for answering my questions. My last question would be, when this pandemic ends, what would be your plans? Thanks again. Ooh, Justine with the questions. I love it. By the way, like, how good is this live streaming? You can just like ask questions in real time. So good. We've been going for an hour. Normally, if Jason and I were doing a podcast, we'd be like, oh, we're at 40 minutes. Cool. We'll end it here. But like I'm enjoying this and I want to keep going because it's just fun. And I can see Justine just put a comment saying, stay safe, guys, and take care. So just in case you've already jumped off, thank you for watching. But also, let me just answer your question, because you can always watch this back, obviously. Look, in Brisbane, the pandemic is pretty much gone in terms of how business operates, except for right now when we had this 3-day lockdown. Otherwise, like, everything's almost pretty much been back to normal, except for I just haven't been doing much traveling. But my plans for this year, once we're sort of good from the pandemic, is to really start doing my parlor show, my sort of intimate close-up parlor show, more frequently. There is a new hotel opening up in Brisbane, where I live, that I've been in talks with, because the company that's running the entertainment section of it also runs the venue where I've done my most recent parlor show. And so I would love to get something regular going on there. And I might just try it for a month first, like doing 1 or 2 shows a week for a month, see how that goes. And that's what I'd love to do, is get back into the live performing. Because last night, the gig that I did last night was a parlor show. It was a close-up show for 14 people. It was in this like really wealthy house, like on the Gold Coast, like on the water. So like their house backs onto like a boat and stuff like that, like into the ocean. So like it was just a beautiful setting to them having they're all seated like around me in like a semicircle, and then I could do this magic like close up, but for, you know, a group of people. And it's like my favorite style to perform. So hopefully I get back to doing that soon. You know, that would be awesome. Yeah, so good. Jesse, live streams are so much fun, and the added benefit of just inviting someone else, the amount of global interaction is just plain awesome. You know, dude, you're so right. Like, we've been chatting to people from Australia, from the Philippines, from the US, everywhere. It's super dope. I think that like this is just good. I mean, obviously whenever you live stream, there's like a little, you know, there's like a little risk into like, will this stuff up? Because I remember, Jesse, you were saying you got locked out of like your own YouTube live stream. And then you kind of stuck, right? So we'll do it for now, though, anyway. We'll see what happens. We'll see what's happening. It's all good fun. And we plan to do more. You know, yeah, we just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Obviously, as I was saying, we're going to do it here at the Magic Guys show. That's where we'll be live streaming them. However, we'll see how that goes, because now that I'm on the Magic Guys Facebook page, YouTube page, and like you guys are here, maybe we do some here too, but I'm not going to say that now, because like we are going to do them here, because that way our Facebook page gets some use, and I think it's definitely worth using it. So make sure you are on their Facebook page, all that good stuff. But yeah, I agree, Jesse. It's super helpful having these platforms, being able to do it as well. So yeah, I love it. Tom, he's back. Shoot me some ideas that you'd like to see, and maybe we can work out a deal. We'll talk through email or social media. Thanks for being authentic and personal. You've got a good head on your shoulders. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. I think like if you can't be authentic, you know, what's the point? You know, like Jason and I discussed this very early on. We're like, if we're going to start a podcast, we just have to be real with who we are and our thoughts. And if that's boring to people, then it just has to be boring. We have to be ourselves. You know, if we feel like swearing at a point in time, we just swear, and then I'll edit it out later. There are sometimes we say stuff in the podcast and we're like, oh, was that really something we want to go out on the podcast? Urethra. And so sometimes things will get cut out or change, you know. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, that's all you can be, is authentic. And awesome, man. We'll definitely chat about it. So you're in Cleveland, Ohio. That's awesome. This would be cool. You might be seeing the first works of like some artwork that's going to end up behind me. This is very cool. I wonder how much it is to like get artwork sent from country to country, but you know, we'll figure it out. Because I imagine if it's on like a canvas, you know, a canvas is like a physical, you know, big thing that has to be transported delicately, but screw it. I think that would be awesome. I would definitely be up for that. Jesse, I think this is Jesse's question in response to like when he got kicked out. Had to delete the whole thing. I need to reach out to Rankhav, Michael, and Scotty to see what time works for them. Yeah. Awesome, man. So what Jesse's referring to, Jesse's one of our Patreon producers, and he did his own live stream, and I said, yep, let's set it up where the winners of your live stream, I will do a Zoom show for them. And the funniest thing I realized is that Raghav, Michael, and Scotty, all magicians. So now we're going to do a Zoom show for magicians. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to do it in a way that is fun for magicians, right? So whether that's like a parody of a magic show or like a spoof of a magic show, it's going to be more like that. So, we're going to make some fun from it either way. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be good fun. So I look forward to that, man. Yeah, let me know when that's happening. That'd be cool. I watched and listened to over 1,600 Joe Rogan podcasts. Holy crap. Ever since his first one. Wow. I think by now I've got a huge radar for good people. That's all I can say. But holy crap, 1,600 Joe Rogan podcasts. That, my friend, that is insane. 1,600. Holy moly. You must have... No wonder your profile photo is like you're blue and your head, like you have like a big head, obviously with a big brain in it, and you're going like this. It must be because like your mind is just so full of information. You're just like, can I fit the 1,601 podcast into my mind? Obviously I'm playing here, but wow, that is a lot of podcasts, bro. Do you have a favorite? Is it possible to figure out what your favorite episode was from Joe Rogan? Because like there are a couple that I've listened to that I've really enjoyed. But like if I listen to 1,600 of them, let alone he's done them himself, that's a lot. I don't know if I could consume that much. That's a lot. Hey, a new person. Donnie. Hey, Donnie. You might be a long-time listener, first-time commenter. Thanks for being here. What do you think of that Nick Gurr magician on Joe Rogan? There was a magician on Joe Rogan? That's what you're saying? Tom, can you weigh in on this? Because I don't know much about this. Nick Gurr. I'm going to look it up right now. Nick Gurr. So anyone who has like watched this episode, let us know. But I'm going to just quickly, because I don't have any opinion right now. See Joe Rogan podcast. Okay. Joe Rogan talks about Nick Merck's Joe Rogan experience. Yeah, I'm not, I'm trying to find it on here, Donnie, but I'm not finding anything about a Nick Gurr that's been on the podcast. You know what? We'll figure it out later. Yeah, I don't even know who that is. Damn it. Sorry, Donnie. Maybe you can ask another question if you want, and I promise I'll answer it. I just don't know who that is. Pat's saying, don't say it, Josh. I don't know. All right, I won't. That's easy. I don't know what that means. I really enjoyed the Elon Musk one. That's awesome. Yeah, the Elon Musk, because Elon Musk has done 2 podcasts. He's gone on there twice. The first one was just great, just seeing how authentic he is, and I love how he's talking about his flamethrower product, and he's like, it literally says on the ad like, do not buy this, and it's like, what does it say? So that it clears customs, it says on the box like, not a real flamethrower. But like, he's like, and when Joe Rogan asks him about it, he's like, so like, this is not even a flamethrower. It's just like a butane can with a paintball gun. And he's like, yeah, it's crap. Don't buy it. He's just so honest about it, but yet it sells out. And I think it sells out because of the honesty, you know? So I agree. Yeah, Elon Musk is awesome. Dr. Rhonda Patrick podcast for sure. Okay. She has the best, let me put it up here. She has the best information on health ever. All right, I'm going to have to check that out because I haven't seen that one, but I'm going to take a note of it. For now, I might just take a quick photo of my own live just so that I remember this for later. Sick. Because I listen to so many podcast episodes all the time, but not necessarily always Joe Rogan's. Someone is messing with your live stream. What? Pat's saying someone is messing with your live stream. What? Hang on a second. I'm looking at my comments though, and I'm not seeing my comments come up on the live stream. Pat, are you being messed with again? Or are you saying that someone's now putting comments on that I'm not seeing? What is happening here? Because I don't see anything, but let me know. Okay, cool. Did Nick Gurr talk about Joe? He's never been on the podcast. I don't even know. That magician. Yeah, that's what I kind of found. The same thing. But Donnie's saying, here we go. Donnie 601, but hey, we've got interactive comments here. 601 is Katie Bowman. What other podcasts do you watch? Okay, cool. All right, so look, we need to find out who this magician is, but at some other point. That's all cool. He has so many podcast episodes, like, it's crazy. We'll figure it out later. Nick Gurr. Yeah, sick. Pat says, I'll email you. Sweet. Pat's having a tough time being on the internet, aren't you? You're getting hacked. You're seeing whatever I'm doing is getting messed with. That's crazy. Maybe if you email me, yeah, we'll make sure that everything's kind of sealed down and I know it's from you. And yeah, cool. Oh man. Hey, look, this has been so fun, guys. Like, look, I could stay on here forever. I could do another hour. Easy peasy. But let's end it here because like we're just in a good place, and an hour and 20 minutes. This is going to stay up on the podcast channel, so you can watch this again anyway. But yeah, drop any further comments later once this is already up. Love to hear from you guys again. This is really awesome. Super appreciate your time being here as always. Have a great day, guys. Peace.
Thanks for listening. It's time for us to disappear now. But we'll see you again on the next episode of The Magic Guys.